like Sudoku. Let's see if we can solve this one for us. Well, I like to work on what's easy, obvious. Low-hanging fruit, well that's a 5. It has to be because that's broken. Okay, which means 5 is either here or here. In this one. On the other nice, easy, low-hanging fruit. One's here, here. And here or here. So we know the one's going to be one here or here. Because that takes out that one, and obviously that takes out that one, which means it's here or here down here. For ones, twos, any easy ones. It's 2 here, 2 there. Definitely be twos in either one of those 3 spots. Threes. One of these 3 spots. Which ironically actually leaves only one spot that could possibly be for 3 on that side. Because that takes up the whole row. Which means that actually, well, one of these could, like 3 has to be one of these 3. Cannot be here. 4, any easy ones on that one. There's only one 4 on it ironically, so no 4. From here, here. 4 and 4 is either. 4. 8 has to be one of these 2. It has to be one of these 2. Which means 8 is definitely somewhere in this column. 7. Here or 7 being here. Seven. Six. Hmm. 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 6. 6. 6. 9. Has to be one of these two. That has to be a 9. Let's move that to 3. I'll reduce my center options to 3 or 3.
Welcome to the New York Times Medium. This is Saturday the 14th. My wife also attempted to solve this one, so I'm going to leave her attempt at the beginning of this video when it eventually goes live, and then I'll solve it and see if I can get there, and I'll tell my wife to watch this one because we can both learn from each other, and hopefully we'll both be better at it. So, be that as it may, I look and I see an awful lot in box 9. I have 5 digits. The only ones I'm missing are 3, 4, 5, and 8. And this one can't be 3 or 8, so it's 4 or 5. This one can't be 4 or 3, so that's down to 5 or 8 immediately. And this can't be... well, actually, that can't be 3 or 5, so that's 4 or 8. That's 3, 4, or 8. Well, that's annoying. Well, wait a minute. So none of these can be 3, so that's a 3. And I shouldn't have had to fill out all of these to figure that out. But be that as it may, that forces a 3 in one of these two. It forces a 3 in one of these two. 1 is in one of these two. Okay, those two 8s will force an 8 down there. I have 1, 8, 3, 7, 9. Okay, I've got 1s and 8s. I'm done with those rows. Okay, the middle 3 rows, I've got 1 each of 2, 3, 7, 6, 1, 5. I can't do anything with it. If I take out 3s, I've got 5, 1, 4, 6, 2, 7, 9, so I'm done with those rows. Let's see, in box 2, I've got 1, 3, 7, 8. I need 2, 4, 5, 6, 9. That's not 6, and that's not 2. Or 9. This one can't be 2, but I think could be anything else. And that one isn't 5. Well, that's irritating because I've got too many candidates. Well, wait a minute. I don't know why I put 9s there either, because that clearly doesn't work. Okay, so I've got 2 in one of 3 spots. But I've got 9 in a weird situation, because I've got 9 in one of those 2. That's awkward. Well, wait a minute. Okay, those 2 5s and that one will force that to be a 5 in box 4. And then these 2 8s will force an 8 in one of these 3. Okay, and then those 2 5s will force one of these 2 to be a 5. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 5, and 9. I need 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 for those cells in suborder. Of which these aren't 3, and this one can't be 6 or 7. That theoretically still could be anything. That one's not 3, 6, or 7. 3, 7, or 8. Yeah. That's not 8. Oh, how this is 4, 6, and this is 4, 8. That's irritating. Let's see, in row 9, I've got 3, 7, 8, 9. I need 1, 2, 5. No, I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. But that's not 4 or 5. That's not 1. That's not 6. And that's not 2. And everything crosses a box. Well, that's irritating. Okay, what about box 7? 3, 4, 5, 8 filled in. I need 1, 2, 6, 7, and 9. For the rest. Now, neither of these are 2 or 6. Neither of these are 1. But 2, 6, 7, 9 is still possible for any of these. But, wait a minute, this actually sees 1 and 7 along with 2 and 6, so that's a 9. This can't be 7 or 9. And now that's not 9. And neither is that. Let's see, so I've got 1, 2, 6, and 7 in some order. Right? For the rest of box 7. So we've determined that 1 is in one of these 2, and combined with that one, and this one is going to force a 1 on one of those 2. Okay, column 2 is where I can do some work. I've got 1, 5, 7, 8, 9 placed. I need 2, 3, 4, and 6 for the rest. Now this can't be 3 or 4, but 2, 3, 4, 6, any of them are possible in that cell. This one can't be 3, and that one can't be 3 either, so those are 2, 4, 6. Oh, wait a minute. These aren't 3, and this one isn't 3, so guess what? That's a 3. So these 2 3s now force a 3 in one of these 2. Wait a minute. Right? Yeah, I could come up with a third 2, 4, 6, I'd know the rest of that cell in box 1, but I don't think I know that just yet. But wait a minute. 4 is in one of these two. Combined with this 4 is going to force a 4 in one of these 3. So this is 4, 8, and something. And if I knew what the something was, I'd be able to fill out the rest of column 3 almost immediately. But I got to work on something else first, I think. Okay. Column 3, there's no point because I don't have enough to go on. And I hate to do row 1 and 2. Okay, what about row 8? I've got 2, 4, 6, and 9. So I need 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. Now this one can't be 3, 5, or 8. This one can't be 1, 3, or 7. But this isn't 1 or 3. This one isn't 1 or 7. That one isn't 8. But could be anything else. That's irritating. Yeah. There's absolutely nothing in box 8. Let's see, this isn't 1, 3, or 5. That has too many options. This one isn't 1, 3, 5, 6, or 7. Okay, so this is down to 2, 4, 8, or 9. This one can't be 1, 2, 3, 5, or 8. That one, unfortunately, it's only 1, 3, or 5, so that's just about anything. Still in 7, 4, across a box. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I've got a 9 in one of these 3, but that doesn't tell me something I don't already know. Okay, this is 4, 8, and something. I wish I knew what the something was. Now, these cannot be 3, 4, 5, 7, or 8. Because I see 3, 4, 5, 8 by column and 7 by box, so they are 1, 2, 6, or 9 to start with, of which that's not 2, that's not 6. That could be just about, and that's not 1. Well, unfortunately, we've determined that's a 7, and guess what? That can still be 7. This is not 1, 5, 8, or 9, but the others are possible. Well, except 4. Wait a minute, this isn't 3, and these aren't 3 because of that 3 in the box, so that's a 3. Whoops. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking there. 1, 2, 6, 7, 9, and yes, every one of these things crosses a box. But wait a minute, this can't be 9, and this can't be 9, so a 9's definitely here, and combined with that 9 forces a 9 in one of these 3, but not there. So that's, a 9 is in one of those two. Oh, a 9 is in one of these two. So if a 9 is one of these two and one of these two, the question is, can I prove the long way that this is forced to be a 9 because that's the only cell that satisfies this condition here and that condition there? Now, if I can prove that that's a 9, that will help greatly. Well, let's see. Column 7. What can I do? What can I do there? I've got 3, 6, 7, 9. I need 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. That's not 1, 5, or 8. Okay, this isn't 8. It still could be 1, 2, 4, or 5. And these ones out of 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. Well, that's not 1 or 5. Unfortunately, that's anything. That's not 5, though, or 2. Well, let's see. We've determined 8's in one of these two, but we don't know where 8 is in column 8, so therefore we can't place an 8 in column 9. Let's see. This one only gets rid of 1, 3, and 9, so that's an awful lot of digits as candidate possibilities. Let's see. Well, one is in one of those two, right? Because this one and this one forces a 1 in one of these two, and therefore this can't be 1. Because a 1 in one of these two means that's not 1 either. Well, let's see. What's left? I've got this down to 1 or 3, but that doesn't help place 5 or 7 because I've got too many possibilities. Let's see, filling out this may not help much, I don't think. This only sees 3, 7, 8 out of it. And this one, well, sees 1, 3, 5, or 8, so it goes like that. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? Let's see. These two cells are not 1, 6, or 7. So they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9 to start. Now this gets rid of 2, 3, and 5. This one gets rid of 3 and 5. Let's see, we've determined that's not 3. By place, that's not 3. By given, and that's not 3 by given in the box. So this isn't 3, and this isn't 3, and that's not 3, and those can't be 3, so guess what? That's a 3. Now what that tells me is that's a 1. That's not 1. Let's see, that 1 comes over here, that's 7. Makes that 1. That's not 7. I've now got a 2, 6, which is going to do a lot for row 7. That's not 2. That's not 6. Oh, that can't be 7 anymore. Yeah, I've got a 5, 8 pair looking at that. Let's see. This is still 4, 8, and something, but I don't know what the something is. I wish I did. Let's see. None of these can be 2 or 1. Fortunately, that could still be a 1, which is irritating. So 2's definitely up here. And 6 is definitely up here. But I don't think 7 is. That's annoying. Let's see. These cells are not 3, or 5. And then this one gets rid of 6 and 7. And this one gets rid of 1. So that's irritating. I wish I knew this configuration, but I don't. Let's see, this can't be 1, 5, 7, or 8. This ends up like that. And remember, I'm claiming that this cell here is going to end up being a 9 because it's the only cell that fits that condition and that one. I'm claiming that that cell's a 3. But I need to prove that the long way. Anyway, this one is not 1, 3, 5, 7, or 8. This one isn't 1, 5, 7, or 9. 1, 5, 7, 8, or 9. This is 2, 3, 4, or 6. Yep. Okay, these are not 1, 5, or 7. That's not 2 or 3. That's not 6. That's not something, I think. Oh, and that's as interesting, isn't it? Because these can't be 7. These can't be 7. And these can't be 7, and that one's not 7 because of that, so I've determined that's a 7. Okay, so that 7 comes over here. These are not 7. Now that forces one of those to be a 7. Doesn't help with either 4 or 6 in box 3, though. I wish I knew these, but I don't. Let's see, this one isn't 1, 2. Is not 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, or 8. This one isn't 1, 2, 6, 7, or 8. Now, did I just determine that's a 3? Because these can't be 3 by box. And this isn't 3 by placement. That's not 3 by placement. And that's not 3 by given. So, yeah, that's a 3. Which kind of means that's a 5 because this one isn't 5, it's 3. So that's a 5. Well, this one hasn't been 2 and never could have been for ages. Unfortunately, 7 crosses the box here. That doesn't help. So does 9. Yeah, you can tell I'm still not feeling very well. I had a 5 here when a 5 was given. That was silly of me. So those aren't 5 and that can't be 5, so guess what? That's a 5. Which by acclamation means that's a 1. Right? Now, this isn't 5. Okay, this is definitely not 5, and this one never could have been 9. What was I thinking? I have no idea. Let's see, the only cell that hasn't been filled is that one, which is not 1, 2, 3, or 5. Okay, so the whole grid's filled at this point. I should be able to figure it out from here. Let's see, those 3s means that's not 3. This 4 rules these out from being a 4. Unfortunately, any of these can be 4. That's irritating. Two 6s there. I can't do much with it. Let's see, I've got 3. Nothing else in box 3 is a 3. Nothing else in box 3 is a 7. Let's see, if this is 3 or 7 and not 4 or 6, and this is 3 or 8 and not 4 or 6. So unfortunately, I've still got 4 and 6 and 2 of these 3 cells. No, that's not going to help me much. But these 2 cells being 9 mean none of these can be a 9. See, this one's still, yeah, that helps, but this is not helpful at all. And I still have too many possibilities for 2, 4, 5, 6, 9 in box 2. Here I've got 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, but outside of 3, 7, and 8. I don't have enough to eliminate anything from there. This one, I have way too many possibilities, but I've got a 6 on one of those 2. Well, that's a weird conundrum. Well, actually, wait a minute. I've got a 4, 8, 9 triple here. If those markings are right, then nothing else can be a 4 in column 5. So that's not it, and that's not it. And that's a 2, 5 there. That given 6 meant that could never have been 6. That was silly of me. Okay, I've got 7 in one of these two. This is awkward. Let's see, what else can I do here? Not much. Okay, did I do anything else that was silly? 1 still crosses a box in row 4. That is not hopeful. Okay, well, these are kind of a 4-5-8 triple, aren't they? So I'll bet you that none of these are 4. And if these can't be 4... Yeah, so I'll bet you this is a 4-5-8 triple, so that's not 4 or 8. And this can't be 4 or 8 either. And therefore that isn't 4 or 8, so that's not 8, which means that's an 8. And now this is 3, which makes that 7. That's not 4 or 8. Okay, well that's weird. So let's see. So this can't be 1. So that's not 1. Okay, I've now got a 1 in one of those two. Okay, I've got an X-wing on 1s here, 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 and here. What else does that help me with? Not much. Well, it might. Let's see, this 8 means this can't be 8, so that's a 4. Okay, so none of these are 4. Neither is that. Now, that 4 will make this 4, and that sorts out the rest of box 3, because that's 4, that's 6, that's 2. 2 comes down here, that's a 9. That's not 8, so I've got a 6, 7 here. I may as well get rid of those corner 6s, because that doesn't do me any good. Let's see, 2 is going to force that to be a 5, which forces that to be a 2, and that one is therefore not 2. Let's see, none of these are 5. What did we say? Well, I think we've now proven, or have we? And we still have 4, 6 here, but that's not 2. So 4, 6, which forces that to be a 3, and that to be a 9. Yep, so I just proved the long way that this was a 9, and that was the only way that this one of these forced 9s and one of these forced 9 was met. So, cool. This will help me with future puzzles. I can make some logical deductions that much easier. But be that as it may, that's not 9, and this can't be 4. Because I just placed it, so that's not 4. That makes this a 4. So these are 2 and 9, I believe, because that's it. Right. And it can't be 6, so that's forced to be a 2. That's forced to be a 9. 4, 6 here looks at that. That's a 2, which makes that 6. Okay, I think we have enough to go on. This 6 will sort that 6, 7 out. This 7 comes back over here. That's not 7, which means that one is. And now that's not 7 or 9, actually, so that turns into a 4, which makes this 6 and that 5 by a previous marking. That 6 comes back over here, which sorts out 4, and now the top third is done. Let's see, 4, 8, 9, none of that's sorted out yet. That 5, 4 here is going to sort out. That's an 8, that's a 5, that's a 4. 4, 5 comes back over here, that's 6. 5 makes this an 8. This can't be 4 or 8, so that's 7 or 9. This can't be 4 or 8, so that makes that 9, and that's 7. So, 2, 6, like so. That's not 6. That's not 6. This is effectively a 1, 2, 9 triple at the left, I think. So that has the impression of saying these aren't 2, and this is a 4, 6, 8 triple here. Of which that's 8. And now this can't be 6, so that turns into a 4, which makes that 8. Whoops. Six. You know, that I just mistyped. Let's see, 9 means this turns into a 4, 8, so that forces that to be a 9, which forces this to be 1, that to be 8, and now that's 2, that's 1. Let's see, that forces this to be a 2, that should be 9. And we're practically done, because that's a 4, and that's an 8. Cool. Well, also not my best by time, but I am proud of the fact that I figured out some logical deductions in column 3 here that will help with future medium puzzles. But be that as it may, thank you for joining me.